Stop and think. What if I told you that you're not really choosing anything at all? Not when you wake up, not when you decide to work, and especially not when you think you're saving or investing money. Shocking, right? But science has already proven it. Your brain makes every decision before you even aware of it. And you know what's worse? It was programmed to keep you exactly where you are right now, stuck on autopilot, and most of the time, broke. Today, I'm going to show you how your brain manipulates you. And by the end of this video, you will understand why your mind has already decided whether you build wealth or spend your life chasing a paycheck. But first, you need to face the most uncomfortable truth. You don't have the free will you think you have. In 1983, neuroscientist Benjamin Libet conducted a simple experiment. He asked volunteers to move their fingers whenever they felt like it. Meanwhile, he measured electrical activity in the brain. The results shocked the world. The brain fired electrical signals 300 milliseconds before the person became consciously aware of the decision. In other words, your brain had already decided before you thought you made a choice. It doesn't just happen with moving a finger. It happens with everything. What you eat, where you spend, when you procrastinate. Have you ever told yourself, today I'm going to be healthy? No burgers. But suddenly your eyes lock onto the menu. Before you realize it, the order's already out. That I deserve it thought, it's not really you. It's your brain reacting before your consciousness even arrives. Now, imagine this with money. Who do you think decides first? You. Or your instincts wired for instant pleasure? Your brain is ancient. It wasn't designed to make you rich. It was programmed to keep you alive. In the savannah, those who waited too long died. So, your brain got used to grabbing any quick reward it could. Today's world, that mindset sabotages you. You'd rather buy new sneakers now than invest for next year. Rather watch Netflix than study personal finance. Rather blow your whole bonus on a weekend because your brain craves immediate dopamine, and the market knows this. Every notification, every ad, is designed to hijack this primitive instinct. Most people trust that primitive brain. The wealthy, they train it. When you feel that uncontrollable urge to spend, it's not really you deciding. It's an automatic circuit firing off dopamine, the same chemical that once drove our ancestors to chase food. The pleasure isn't in the purchase. It's in the anticipation. That's why you feel empty right after spending and want to buy again. Take a shopping app. You spend 10 minutes scrolling, imagining the product. Dopamine spikes before you even click buy. When the item arrives, you already want something else. The rich understand this. They've built the habit of finding pleasure in delayed gratification. Whoever masters dopamine masters the game. So if the brain decides first, are we doomed? No. Here's the key. You can train your automatic decisions. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new patterns. A Stanford study showed that after 8 weeks of self-control training, the prefrontal cortex, the part that holds back impulses, gets stronger. In other words, you can teach your brain to choose before it sabotages you. The rich aren't smarter. They've simply turned good habits into automatic reflexes. Saving before spending, investing before the money hits the account, saying no to impulse purchases without thinking. It's not willpower, it's training. Want to train your brain? Here's how. First, control your environment. Your brain decides early. Cut consumption triggers. Stop following flashy social media accounts. Don't visit malls just to look around. Second, automate financial decisions. Set up automatic transfers to investments. If the brain doesn't see the money, it doesn't feel the loss. Third, associate pleasure with building wealth. Track every financial win. Celebrate every $100 saved. This way, your brain starts to release dopamine, not for spending, but for building. Most people prefer to believe they have full control, but the truth, we don't have absolute free will. The few who accept this stop fighting the brain and start training it. Then the magic happens. Impulsive spending disappears. Money grows without feeling like effort. Smart decisions become automatic. As you listen to me now, your brain is already deciding. Will you apply what you learned or keep running on autopilot? What do you think it chose? You're not completely free. But you are free to train your brain and change the rules of the game. Those who understand this build wealth almost effortlessly, while others keep running like rats in a wheel. So I ask you, will you stay a slave to your impulses or become the master of the game? Your brain already made a decision, but you can still teach it to choose better. Everything you believe about dopamine is wrong, and it might be costing you a lot. You think it's the pleasure molecule? It's not. Today you'll understand how your own brain manipulates you into spending before you even earn, why you feel empty after every purchase, and most importantly, how to reverse this game. Your brain is keeping you poor, and I'll prove it. But first, let's bust the biggest myth. Imagine a lab rat. Presses a lever and gets a dopamine hit. Presses again and again until it dies of exhaustion. Now imagine you, phone in hand. Endless scrolling, red notifications, autoplay videos. What's the difference? Almost none. It evolved this system, called the reward circuit, wasn't made to make you happy. Over millions of years to ensure you chased food, sex, and shelter before it was too late. Think of two people. One invests $100 a month patiently. The other spends the same on takeout, clothes, or that gift they didn't really need. Who's wealthy in 10 years? The answer is obvious. But your brain doesn't think in 10 years. It thinks in 10 seconds. In prehistoric times, that was useful. Today, it's a financial poison. And it all starts with a huge myth about dopamine. Dopamine isn't pleasure, it's anticipation. In 1997, neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz made an intriguing discovery with monkeys. When they saw a signal predicting food, their neurons fired like fireworks. When they actually got the food, neural activity dropped. In other words, we get more dopamine from expectation than from reward. One examples: before opening a message, anxiety; after reading, emptiness; before buying online, euphoria; when it arrives, disappointment and the urge to buy again. It's the classic wanting versus liking, described by Kent Burridge. But why would your brain do this? The prehistoric world, this mechanism was perfect for survival. Find food before you starve. Hunt before you're hunted. Reproduce before you're eaten. This reward prediction error compared expectation and reality. Something was better than expected, dopamine rose. Worse, it dropped sharply, pushing you to try again. It was a motor of eternal dissatisfaction. Back then, it saved lives. Today, it traps you in modern addictions. And the modern world turned this into a billion-dollar business. Social media, games, even banks, they all exploit this. Every notification is a gamble, could be good or nothing. This pattern, called variable reinforcement, is the same used in slot machines. Tristan Harris, former Google designer, revealed that the pull-to-refresh gesture was inspired by casino machines. And worse, each dopamine spike drops your baseline level. The result? You need to spend more to feel the same pleasure. Long tasks like studying or saving feel like torture. The brain always chooses the quick hit. Everyday examples. The refresh balance button in your bank app works like a slot machine. Red notifications were designed to feel urgent. Interest-free installments create a false sense of gain. Recent studies show that just hearing a notification sound releases dopamine before you even check it. And the more you chase it, the less pleasure you feel. Constant spikes lower your baseline. D2 receptors decrease. The same seen in drug addicts. Consequences? Simple stimuli feel boring. You need more intense experiences. The emptiness grows. But what if I told you this can be reversed? The good news is, your brain is plastic. It can be trained. Or 4 steps to recalibrate your dopamine. 1. Digital detox. Start with 24 to 48 hours. Even short breaks improve focus and receptors. 2. Deliberate effort. Walk without headphones. Cook from scratch. Small, effortful tasks rebalance the system. 3. Raise your dopamine baseline. Do physical activity or cold showers before using your phone. This keeps dopamine high in a stable way. 4. Partial pleasure. Stop activities at their peak, like pausing a show. Train your brain to enjoy the process, not just binging. And the side effect is the most powerful of all. When you reprogram your brain, something incredible happens. Dopamine fires before, during, and after the activity. Tibetan monks train this through breath-focused meditation. Elite athletes enjoy waking up at 5 a.m., not for the podium, but for the training itself. And when we apply this to money, investing becomes more rewarding than spending. You get addicted to consistency, the secret of low-profile millionaires. Now tell me, when is dopamine in control for you? What's your biggest trigger today? Social media, food, shopping, gaming? Share it in the comments. Your experience might help someone else. And remember, dopamine doesn't want to make you happy. It just wants you to keep chasing. But starting today, you choose the direction.